Good morning. This is Suvarna, Physical Science faculty working in DAV Louis Vika Bharati Vidya Mandir. As for instruction given by our regional director sir M. Uma Maheshwar Rao, we are starting for online classes. By special thanks our principal sir S. Kishore Kumar sir for giving me this opportunity. Thank you sir. Let us go to the physics world. In this session, we are going to the start first chapter, ninth class, physical science, motion. Introduction of motion. We are familiar with the idea of motion. We see several examples of motion around us, like motion of people, vehicles, trains, aeroplanes, birds, raindrops, objects thrown into air, etc. We know that it is due to the motion of the earth that phenomena like sunrise, sunset, changes in the seasons, etc. occur. If earth is in motion, why don't we directly perceive the motion of the earth? Are the walls of your classroom at rest or in motion? Why? Have you ever experienced that the train in which you sit appears to move when it is at rest? Why? To give answers to those questions, we need to understand the terms relative and motion. Great progress in understanding motion occurred when Galileo undertook his study of rolling balls on inclined planes. To understand motion, we need to understand the meaning of the word relative, which plays an important role in explaining motion. So, what is motion? Motion is the change in position of an object with respect to its surroundings in a given interval of time. Motion is relative. Motion of an object depends on the observer. Next, what is relative? We use many statements in our daily life to express our views. The meaning of a statement depends on the context in which it is made. Does every statement have a meaning? Evidently, the answer is no. Even if you choose perfectly sensible words and put them together according to all the rules of grammar, you may still get complete nonsense. For instance, the statement "this water is triangular" can hardly be given any meaning. A statement has meaning only when there is a relation between words. Similarly, there may exist other situations in our daily life where we use statements having meaning depending upon the situation. Let us observe the following example, right and left. Given picture, two persons says A and B are moving opposite to each other on a road. Examine the meaning of the following sentence. Question. On which side of the road is the house? Is it on the right side or on the left side of the road? There are two answers for the above question. For example, person A, the house is on the right, and for the person B, the house is on the left. Thus, the position of the house is relative to the observer. That is, clearly, when speaking of left and right by a person, he has to assume a direction based on which he can decide his left and right sides. Is day or night just now? The answer depends on where the question is being asked. When it is daytime in Hyderabad, it is night in New York. The simple fact is that day and night are relative motions, or our question cannot be answered without indicating the place on the globe where the question is being asked. Up and down. Can orientations like up and down be the same for all the persons at all places? Observe the following picture. For the person standing at A on the globe, his position appears up and the orientation of person standing at B appears down, but the person standing at B, it appears exactly opposite. Similarly, for the person standing at the points C and D, the direction of up and down are not same. They change with the point of observation on the globe. Why do we observe these changes? We know that Earth is a sphere. The upward direction of the vertical position on its surface depends upon the place on the Earth's surface where the vertical is drawn. Hence, the motion up and down have no meaning unless the point on the Earth's surface to which they refer is defined. Discuss the meaning of the term longer and shorter with few examples. Motion is relative. Next one, motion is relative. Like the terms right and left, up and down, larger and shorter, etc., motion is also relative to the observer. To understand the idea of motion, let us take the following hypothetical activity. Observe the given picture and follow the conversation between Srinu and Somesh, who stand beside a road as shown in given picture. First of all, Somesh, point of view. Srinu, what is the state of motion of the tree? Somesh, it is at rest. Srinu, what is the state of motion of the car? Somesh, it is moving due east. Srinu, what is the state of motion of the driver and the passenger in the car? Somesh, they are also moving like the car. Srinu, how do you decide that the car, the passenger and the driver are moving? Somesh, with respect to the position of the car, the passenger and the driver are changing with time, so they are in motion. Next, passenger's point of view. Now, following the conversation of the driver and the passenger in the moving car, driver, what is the state of the motion of the tree? Passenger, it is moving due west. Driver, what is the state of motion of both the persons beside the road? Passenger, they are also moving due west. Driver, what is my state of motion? Passenger, you are at rest. Driver, what is the state of motion of the car? What answers may a passenger give to the driver? Discuss with your friends. From the above discussion, it is clear that the tree is at rest with respect to Somesh and it is moving due west with respect to passenger. The motion or rest of an object depends on the observer. So, motion is a combined property of the observer and the body which is being observed. Now we are able to define motion of an object. A body is said to be in motion when its position is changing continuously with time relative to an observer. So, what is motion? Motion is the change in position of an object with respect to its surroundings in a given interval of time. Motion is relative. Motion of an object depends on the observer. Okay students, we are closing this session. I think you all understood better.